The reality of being transferred to Long Bay Correctional Complex. You think you know what prison is like. You don't. Not until you've been transferred to Long Bay. Meet Marcus Chen, 34 years old, former accountant, convicted of fraud that destroyed 17 families' life savings. Tonight, shackled in the back of a prison transport van, Marcus is about to discover that his comfortable minimum security facility was just the beginning. The van stops. Through the small window, Marcus sees it, the fortress. Long Bay. Even hardened criminals whisper its name with fear. This isn't rehabilitation. This is survival. Chen, move. The guard's voice cuts through the metal compartment. Marcus's hands tremble as the doors swing open. The November air hits his face, but it's not the cold that makes him shake. It's the screaming. Somewhere in the distance, someone is screaming. It echoes off concrete walls like a warning. Welcome to Long Bay, a guard smirks. Hope you said your prayers. But what Marcus doesn't know yet is that the next 48 hours will change him forever. Strip search. Cavity search. Delousing spray that burns Marcus's eyes. This is the first lesson of Long Bay. You are not human here. You are property, inventory, a number. Prisoner 847392. Step forward. Marcus stands naked under lights so bright they feel like an interrogation. 5 guards watch with dead eyes. They've processed thousands. One more white-collar criminal means nothing. Ever been in maximum security before? Chen. A guard with a scar across his jawline asks. No, sir. Then let me educate you. The guard steps closer. In minimum, you had rec time, TV privileges, maybe even a job. Hey. Here you earn every breath. You understand. Marcus nods, but he doesn't understand. Not yet. They throw orange overalls at him. The fabric is stiff, worn by countless men before him. As he dresses, Marcus catches his reflection in the metal table surface, hollow eyes, pale skin. He doesn't recognize himself. Move to medical. The hallway stretches ahead like a throat, swallowing him whole. Before we continue with Marcus's first night in Long Bay, if you're gripped by this story, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel brings you the raw, unfiltered reality of prison life that mainstream media won't show you. We go deep into the psychological warfare, the survival tactics, and the human stories behind the headlines. Marcus's journey is just beginning, and what happens in the next 24 hours will shock you. Don't miss a single moment. Subscribe and turn on notifications because the most intense part is coming. Trust me, you'll want to see what happens at 3 a.m. Now, back to Marcus. The medical room smells like disinfectant trying to mask something worse. A nurse, 50s, exhausted eyes, doesn't look up from her clipboard. Allergies. Penicillin, Marcus whispers. Suicidal thoughts. Marcus pauses. Is he? 3 months ago, he had a Mercedes and a waterfront apartment. Now he's standing in a prison medical room at midnight, about to be locked in maximum security. No. The nurse finally looks at him. Really looks. They always say no. She stamps his form. You'll get a psych evaluation in 3 days. Until then, if you're thinking about hurting yourself, tell a guard. What if the guards don't care? She meets his eyes with something almost like sympathy. Then you find someone who does. Another inmate. A chaplain. Someone. Because I've seen what happens when you don't. She hands him a small paper cup with 2 pills. For anxiety. You'll need them. Marcus swallows them dry. His throat is too tight for water anyway. But Marcus has no idea that medication won't help with what's waiting in D-block. 2 guards escort Marcus through corridors that seem designed to break spirits. The walls are concrete, marked with scratches, stains Marcus doesn't want to identify. Every 20 feet, a security camera watches with its red blinking eye. You're in D-block, cell 47, the younger guard says. His maybe 25. Still has some humanity in his voice. Keep your head down. Don't make eye contact. Don't accept anything from anyone. Understand? Why not? Because everything here costs something. A cigarette? That's a favor owed. A extra food tray? That's a debt. And debts get collected. They pass a cell where someone is subbing. Not crying, subbing. Deep, broken sounds that echo off the walls. The older guard catches Marcus staring. First night for him too. He'll either adjust or break. Most break. They reach a heavy door marked D block. The older guard swipes his card. The door opens with a pneumatic hiss that sounds like a giant breathing. The noise hits Marcus like a wave. Yelling, laughing, something metal being banged against bars. It's 12:35 a.m., and D block is wide awake. The catcalls start immediately. Fresh meat. Look at this pretty boy. Hey, accountant. Gonna count my money. Marcus keeps his eyes forward like the guard instructed, but he can feel dozens of eyes on him. Predator eyes. Calculating eyes. Every step echoes on the metal walkway. A prisoner reaches through the bars as Marcus passes. What are you in for, sweetheart? Marcus doesn't answer. The guard shoves the man's arm back. They climb metal stairs to the second tier. The railing is sticky with something. Marcus doesn't look down. Cell 47 is at the far end. Of course it is. Maximum exposure. Maximum vulnerability. This is you, the younger guard says, unlocking the cell. Inside, a man sits on the bottom bunk. Massive. Tattoos cover every visible inch of skin, neck, face, hands. He doesn't look up from the book he's reading. Chen, meet your cellmate. Tank, this is Chen. Tank still doesn't look up. The guards leave. The cell door slams with finality that makes Marcus's stomach drop. For 10 seconds, silence. Just Tank's breathing and Marcus standing frozen. Then Tank finally looks up, and Marcus sees his eyes. Top bunk, Tank says. His voice is surprisingly soft. Don't touch my stuff. Don't ask questions. Don't snore. Marcus climbs onto the top bunk, every muscle tense. The mattress is thin, stained, and smells like sweat and desperation. A single blanket that's more holes than fabric. Tank returns to his book. Marcus sees the title, The Count of Monte Cristo. You read Dumas? Marcus asks before he can stop himself. Tank's jaw tightens. I said don't talk. Silence fills the cell like water. Marcus stays at the ceiling, concrete, marked with scratches. He tries to read them. Names, dates, threats. One message is carved deep. I will get out. Outside the cell, someone is having a breakdown, screaming about spiders that aren't there. Guards' boots on metal stairs. The sharp crack of a baton on bars. Marcus closes his eyes, but sleep is impossible. First night. Tank finally asks, yeah, then let me give you the only advice that matters. Trust no one. Not me. Not the guards. Not the chaplain. Not your lawyer. In Long Bay, everyone's playing an angle. What's your angle? Tank closes his book. Survival. Same as yours should be. Marcus hasn't slept. How could he? At exactly 3 a.m., something changes. The random noise of the cell block stops. Complete silence for 30 seconds. Then, methodical banging starts. Metal on metal. Every cell, synchronized. Bang, bang, bang. What is that? Marcus whispers. The ritual, Tank says from below. Been happening for 15 years. No one knows who started it. God tried to stop it. Can't. It's how we remind them, and ourselves, that we're still here. Bang, bang, bang. The rhythm is hypnotic, threatening. Marcus counts 4 to 7 bangs before it stops. Silence again. Then someone screams. Not pain, rage. Pure, distilled fury. Others join. For 2 minutes, D block becomes a chorus of rage. Then it stops, as suddenly as it started. Welcome to Long Bay, Tank says in the darkness. That happens every night. You'll get used to it, or you'll break. Most break. Marcus's heart hammers. His hands shake. The pills they gave him might as well be candy. Tank, how long have you been here? 11 years. How much longer? A long pause. Life. Marcus realizes he's sharing a 6x8 cell with a man who will die here. The siren jolts Marcus awake. He didn't even realize he'd fallen asleep. Count. On your feet. Tank is already standing at the cell door. Marcus scrambles down, disoriented. Through the bars, he sees guards walking the tiers, counting heads. 847392. Present. Tank says when they reach cell 47. 847393. Present, Marcus mumbles. The guard marks his clipboard and moves on. Mechanical. Dehumanizing. Breakfast in 10. Stay close to me. Tank says. Why are you helping me? Tank looks at him with unreadable eyes. I'm not. I'm helping myself. New cellmates who don't know the rules cause problems. Problems bring guards. Guards bring shakedowns. I don't need that. The cell's doors buzz open simultaneously. Prisoners flood the tears like ants from a disturbed nest. Marcus follows Tank, trying to mirror his movements. Head slightly down, shoulders relaxed but ready, eyes forward but aware. They descend the stairs. The dining hall awaits. And so do 300 hungry, violent men. The dining hall is massive and terrifying. Metal tables bolted to the floor. Prisoners in orange creating a sea of color. Guards stationed on elevated platforms with clear sight lines. Stay in line. Take your tray. Sit where I sit. Don't look at anyone directly. Tank instructs. Marcus grabs a tray. The food is gray, literally. Gray slop that might be oatmeal. Bread that's hard as concrete. Coffee that looks like motor oil. Tank leads him to a table in the corner. 4 other men already sit there. They eye Marcus like wolves examining fresh prey. New celly, Tank says simply. The man across from Marcus has a teardrop tattoo under his left eye. 3 teardrops. What are you in for? Marcus hesitates. Tank gives him a slight nod. Fraud. Embezzlement. Laughter erupts. A money man. We got our cells a college boy. The man with teardrops leans forward. Name's Reyes. I killed 3 people. How much time you got? 8 years. 8 years for fraud. Another inmate, younger, maybe 25, shakes his head. Man, I got 12 for selling weed. System's a joke. But what Marcus doesn't see is the man watching him from across the hall. A man with dead eyes and a grudge against white-collar criminals. Marcus is mid-bite when Tank's body language changes. Stiffens. Alert. A shadow falls over their table. You're Chen. Marcus turns. The man standing behind him is maybe 6'5", bald, with a scar that runs from his temple to his jaw. Prison tattoos cover his neck, crude, done with improvised needles. Yeah. My name's Kruger. My brother lost everything because of you Dixon financial assholes. Wife left him. Took the kids. He ate a bullet last March. Marcus's throat goes dry. I didn't. Save it. Kruger leans down, his breath hot on Marcus's ear. You think you're safe because you're Tank's celly? You're not. Tank can't protect you 24/7. And when you're alone, I'll be waiting. Tank stands slowly. Kruger, walk away. This doesn't concern you, Tank. Here's my celly. That makes it my concern. The tension is electric. Everyone at nearby tables watches. Guards on the platforms shift their weight, hands moving to batons. Kruger smiles. No warmth, all threat. Okay, Tank. Out of respect. He looks at Marcus. But respect only goes so far. Watch your back, Chen. He walks away. Marcus can't breathe properly. Finish your food, Tank says calmly. Don't show fear. Marcus has been in Long Bay for less than 7 hours, and he already has a target on his back. If you're on the edge of your seat wondering how Marcus survives this, you need to subscribe right now. This story gets darker, more intense, and the choices Marcus makes in the next 12 hours will determine whether he survives Long Bay or becomes another statistic. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications, because what happens during yard time at 9 a.m. will change everything. And here's the thing about Long Bay. The guards know what's coming. They always know. The question is whether they'll intervene or let nature take its course. Over 73% of you watching aren't subscribed yet. Don't be part of that statistic. Join this community. We're building something real here, raw, unfiltered true crime that respects your intelligence. Now, let's get back to Marcus. Because breakfast is over, and the walk back to the cells is when most attacks happen. The walk back is slower than the walk to breakfast. Deliberate. Tank positions himself slightly behind Marcus, eyes scanning. Don't stop. Don't slow down. Someone bumps you. Keep walking, Tank mutters. The corridors create blind spots. Perfect ambush points. Marcus's heart pounds so hard he thinks everyone can hear it. They pass Kruger's cell. He's standing at the bars, watching, making eye contact, promising violence. A prisoner suddenly cuts in front of Marcus. Young, twitchy, eyes darting. "Hey man, you got commissary?" "No," Marcus says, trying to keep walking. The kid keeps pace. "Come on, man, just a little something. I'll pay you back." I said no. I'm asking nicely. Tank's hand shoots out, grabs the kid's collar, slams him against the wall. Not violent, just firm. He said no. Understand. The kid nods frantically. Tank releases him. They reach cell 47. The door buzzes open. Marcus practically falls inside. "That kid was a tester," Tank explains as the door locks. "Sent by someone to see if you're weak. You passed. Barely." Marcus sits on the bottom bunk, head in hands. "I can't do 8 years of this." "Then you won't." "Then what do I do?" Tank sits across from Marcus on the small metal stool that serves as their only furniture besides the bunks. "You want to survive? Listen carefully. First rule, find your value. You were an accountant. People here need money managed, commissary, debts, bets. That's your value. I'm not helping criminals. You already are. You in here with us." Tank's voice hardens. Second rule, pick a side but don't get tribal. There's 3 main groups in D Block. The Brotherhood, white supremacists. Los Hermanos, Latin gang. And the Disciples, mostly black inmates. I'm not with any of them. Safer that way. How is that safer? Because being neutral means everyone might use you, but no one automatically wants you dead. You join a gang. You make enemies of 2 others immediately. Tank leans closer. Third rule, most important, never, ever snitch. I don't care if you see murder. You saw nothing. Because snitchies don't just get killed here. They get made examples of. Understand? Marcus nods, throat tight. Kruger's a problem. But he's not stupid. He'll wait. Test you first. Your job is to fail those tests strategically. Look weak enough not to be worth the effort, but not so weak you're fun to torture. That's impossible. Tank shrugs. Then you're already dead. Chen, 847,393. Marcus approaches the cell boss. A different guard, older, gut hanging over his belt, checks his tablet. You're assigned to laundry detail. 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday. Any problems? No, sir. Good. Laundry's hot, loud, and the machines break constantly. You'll hate it, but it beats kitchen duty where the knives are, or yard maintenance where there's no supervision. The guard almost sounds helpful. Almost. After he leaves, Tank actually smiles. Laundry. You got lucky. How is that lucky? Fewer chances for violence. Harder to conceal weapons in the steam and noise. And the civilian supervisor, Mrs. Chen, no relation. She's fair. Doesn't let the gangs run it completely. Completely. They still run it. Just not completely. Tank pulls his book out again. You've got 20 minutes. I suggest you use the toilet. Laundry doesn't give bathroom breaks until lunch. Marcus uses the metal toilet in the corner of the cell. No privacy. No dignity. This is his life now. Tank doesn't even look up from his book. This is his life too. For 11 years. Forever. Marcus washes his hands in the tiny sink. The water is cold. Always cold. He looks in the metal mirror, warped, barely reflective, and sees a stranger. Tank. Yeah. How did you end up with life? Long silence. I killed someone who deserved it. But the Lord doesn't care about deserve. Before laundry, there's mandatory yard time. The guards herd them out like cattle. Sunlight, real sunlight, hits Marcus's face for the first time since arrival. It should feel good. It doesn't. The yard is a social map. Invisible borders marked by violence and respect. The Brotherhood controls the weight pit. Shirtless men with swastika tattoos doing pull-ups on rusted bars. Los Hermanos has the basketball court. The Disciples own the far corner where card games run constantly. Tank walks to a neutral zone, a patch of concrete near the fence where solo inmates gather. Men who don't belong anywhere. The most vulnerable and the most dangerous, mixed together. Stay here. Don't wonder, Tank says. Marcus watches everything. A deal going down near the bathroom building. Quick handshake, something palmed. Guards see it. Do nothing. Two inmates suddenly start fighting near the basketball court. Brutal. Fast. One gets shanked. An improvised blade made from God knows what. Blood on concrete. Sirens wail. Guards rush in with shields. Everyone else acts like nothing happened. Back to cards. Back to weights. Back to conversation. First stabbing you've seen, an old man next to Marcus asks. He's maybe 70, missing teeth, but his eyes are sharp. Yeah, won't be your last. I'm Eddie. Been here since 94. Jesus. 31 years. Eddie laughs. Time stops meaning anything after year 5. Now it's just existence. Eddie sits on a concrete block, rolling a cigarette with practiced ease. Contraband tobacco. Marcus doesn't ask where it came from. Your Tank's new celly. The accountant. Word travels fast in here. What else is being said? That Kruger wants you dead. That you're soft. That you won't last a month. Eddie lights his cigarette with a match that shouldn't exist. But here's what I see. Tank chose to protect you. Tank doesn't do that. Which means you're either very valuable or very lucky. I'm neither. Then you better become one. Eddie exhales smoke. Let me tell you something they don't put in the orientation packet. Long Bay has rules. Not the official ones. Real ones. Rule 1. Respect the hierarchy. Even if it's stupid. Even if it's unfair. Because breaking hierarchy gets you killed. What's Rule 2? Information is currency. You hear something. You decide who to tell and what it costs. Someone's planning an escape. That's valuable. Someone's getting drugs smuggled in. Also valuable. You trading that information keeps you alive. You want me to be a snitch? Eddie laughs, a sound like gravel. Snitch? No. A snitch tells the guards. I'm talking about trading with inmates. Completely different. Snitching gets you killed. Trading gets you protected. A basketball rolls to Marcus's feet. A member of Los Hermanos walks over. Young, dangerous eyes, teardrop tattoos. Hey, ball. Marcus picks it up. Hands it over. The moment stretches. Is this a test? The guy nods. Walks away. See? Eddie says. You just passed test number 2. Respect given, respect returned. The laundry is hell. Literally. 95-degree heat. Humidity so thick Marcus can barely breathe. 20 industrial washers and dryers running constantly, processing thousands of pounds of prison linens, uniforms, and towels. Mrs. Chen, a Chinese woman in her 60s, runs it with an iron fist. She points Marcus to a sorting station. Whites, colors, bedding, towels. 4 piles. Don't mix them. Machine 7 is broken. Don't use it. Lunch at noon. No talking unless work-related. Questions? No. She walks away. Marcus starts sorting. The work is mindless but exhausting. His hands are already raw from the rough fabric. Next to him, a skinny white guy with burn scars on his arms sorts with mechanical efficiency. Doesn't look up. Doesn't speak. After 20 minutes, he finally mutters, "You're the accountant." "Yeah. I'm Davis. Arson. 12 U's in, 4 to go." He throws a sheet into the whites pile. "You'll want to pace yourself. Heat stroke is real in here. They lose 3 or 4 guys every summer. The guards let that happen." Davis finally looks at him. "The guards don't care if we live or die. We're expenses. Liabilities. The fewer of us, the easier their job." A massive inmate, easily 300 pounds, walks past carrying a basket of wet towels. He deliberately bumps Marcus, sending sorted laundry everywhere. "Oops," the man says without emotion. Marcus bends to pick it up. Davis helps. "That's Tiny." Ironic name. His brotherhood. Testing you. "Everyone keeps testing me. Because you're new. Fresh blood. They need to know if you'll fight back, break down, or play smart." "What should I do?" Davis smiles grimly. "Survive until you're not new anymore. Usually takes 3 months. If you make it that long." The break room is marginally cooler than the laundry floor. Marcus sits with his bag lunch, sandwich that's more bread than filling, an apple that's bruised, and a carton of milk that's almost expired. Tank appears in the doorway. He works kitchen duty. Blood stains his orange uniform. That was a fight. Rookie tried to steal extra food. Got his hand slammed in an oven door. Tank sits next to Marcus. How's laundry? Aunt. Exhausting. But nobody's tried to kill me yet, so I guess it's good. Tank unwraps his own lunch. Kruger works maintenance. He's got access to tools. Screwdrivers, hammers, wrenches, all potential weapons. You're saying he's planning something. I'm saying be ready. Tank lowers his voice. I heard from Eddie you handled the basketball situation well. Good. Small wins matter, hey. Mrs. Chen walks in, surveying her workers. She notices Marcus. Chen, different name. You're the new one. How are you finding the work? Difficult. But I'm managing. She studies him. You have education. I can tell. Most men here don't. If you can prove you're reliable, I might move you to inventory management. It's inside, air-conditioned, and away from the floor. Interested? Very much. Prove yourself. 2 weeks. No incidents. No complaints. She walks out. Tank raises an eyebrow. Inventory management. That's premium. Climate-controlled. Less supervision. You could run a whole operation from there. I'm not running any operation. Not yet, Tank says. But you will be. Everyone does eventually. It's the only way to survive. The afternoon shift is brutal. The sun beats down on the metal roof, turning the laundry into an oven. Marcus's vision blares. His hands shake. He's folded approximately 400 towels, sorted 1,200 sheets, and loaded 87 washer cycles. Davis collapses. Just drops. Heat stroke. Man down. Someone shouts. Guards come. Eventually. They drag Davis out. No ambulance. Just straight to medical. Mrs. Chen redistributes his work to others. No pause. No mourning. The machines keep running. Marcus takes Davis's station. The rhythm is hypnotic. Load. Sort. Fold. Repeat. His mind disconnects from his body. Hours blur. At 2:47 p.m., Tiny bumps him again. Harder this time. Marcus stumbles into a dryer, burning his arm on the hot metal. Sorry. Didn't see you, Tiny says with a smile. Marcus's anger flares. For the first time since arrival, he feels something other than fear. Rage. He wants to hit Tiny. Wants to grab something and swing. Wants to. Not worth it. An older black inmate puts a hand on Marcus's shoulder. That's what he wants. You swing. Guards come. You get solitary. Then you're really vulnerable. Marcus forces himself to breathe. Nods. The man is right. Tiny looks disappointed. Walks away. The old inmate extends his hand. I'm Jackson. Been watching you. You're smart. Good. Smart survives longer than tough. Thanks for the intervention. Don't thank me yet. I need something. Here it comes. The angle. The cost. What do you need? My nephew's being transferred here next month. I need someone to teach him the rules before he arrives. Someone educated who can explain things clearly. You do that. I make sure Brotherhood leaves you alone. Marcus's throat is dry. How can you do that? Because Tiny works for me. I run half the contraband in D Block. Brotherhood needs me more than they want you dead. Marcus realizes he's just been recruited by a crime boss. I don't want to be part of any criminal enterprise, Marcus says carefully. Jackson laughs. Son, you think you have a choice. You're already part of it. The question is whether you're useful or disposable. What exactly would I be doing? My nephew, Deshaun, he's 19. First offense. Assault charge. He's smart but scared. He'll arrive not knowing the rules, the hierarchy, the politics. I need someone to mentor him. Keep him from making fatal mistakes. That's it. Just mentoring. Jackson's eyes harden. You think I'm stupid? Of course there's more. But we start with this. You prove trustworthy. We discuss phase 2. You prove untrustworthy. Well, accidents happen in laundries. Men get caught in machines. Tragic. It's not a threat. It's a fact. When does Deshaun arrive? 3 weeks. Until then, you learn. I'll send people to teach you. The real politics, the power structure, who's who. Consider it your graduate education in prison survival. Marcus's hands won't stop shaking. And if I refuse, then I tell Kruger where you'll be alone tomorrow. I tell Brotherhood you're looking for protection. I tell the guards you're planning something. Your life ends in 48 hours. Choose. Mrs. Chen walks by. Both men immediately return to work, folding towels like nothing happened. Marcus has no choice. He never did. Okay, I'll do it. Jackson smiles. Smart man. Welcome to the network. The shift ends. Marcus's entire body aches. His fingers are raw. His arm has a second-degree burn from the dryer. But he's alive. Tank waits outside the laundry. They walk back to D block together, silent until they're in the corridor. You made a deal with Jackson, Tank says. Not a question. How did you know? Because I made the same deal 7 years ago. That's how this works. Jackson identifies useful people, recruits them, and they become part of his machine. Is the real power in D block, not the guards. Why didn't you warn me? Because you needed to learn, and because refusing Jackson is suicide. Better you figure that out through experience than through me telling you and you not believing it. They reach cell 47. Inside, Marcus collapses on the bottom bunk. Tank doesn't object. Your first day is almost over, Tank says. You've been threatened, tested, burned, and recruited. How do you feel? Terrified, angry, trapped. Good. That means you understand where you are. Tank climbs to the top bunk. Tomorrow will be worse. The day after, worse still. Until one day, about 3 months from now, you'll realize you've stopped counting days. That's when you know you've adapted. Or broken. Or that. Marcus stays at the ceiling. 16 hours in Long Bay. 7 years, 11 months, and 2 weeks to go. He's not sure he'll make it. Dinner is the same gray slop with a different name. Tonight it's allegedly beef stew. Marcus can't identify any beef. Kruger sits 3 tables away. Watching. Always watching. Reyes, from breakfast, waves Marcus over. Tank nods permission. How was your first day of work? Reyes asks. Survived it. That's all you can ask. Reyes lowers his voice. Word is Jackson recruited you. That's good. You've got protection now. But it comes with expectations. Don't disappoint him. What happens if I do? Reyes draws a finger across his throat. Simple. Clear. A guard walks by, and the conversation immediately shifts to sports. Everyone becomes animated about a basketball game nobody watched. The guard passes. Back to business. Jackson's going to have someone approach you tonight. After lights out. Don't be scared. It's part of the process, Reyes explains. Who? Someone who'll teach you the real rules. The ones they don't write down. Marcus picks at his food. The bread is the only edible part. He saves it for last, rationing the only pleasure in this meal. Across the hall, 2 inmates start arguing. It escalates fast. Punchies thrown. Guards intervene with batons. Blood. Screaming. Routine. Marcus doesn't even flinch anymore. 16 hours in, and is already becoming desensitized. That terrifies him more than anything else. 7 p.m. Lockdown. The cell's doors slam with finality. Marcus is trapped in a 6x8 concrete box with Tank for the next 11 hours. Tank reads. Marcus sits on the bottom bunk, staring at nothing. You're processing, Tank observes without looking up. What? Processing. Everything that happened today. Your brain is trying to categorize it, make sense of it, find patterns. It's natural. Does it get easier? No, you just get harder. Tank closes his book. Let me tell you what's going to happen tonight. Around 10 p.m., someone will approach our cell. They'll speak to you through the bars. Listen to everything they say. Don't interrupt. Don't ask questions. Just absorb. Jackson's teacher. Exactly. His name is Prophet. He's been here 23 years. Killed a judge. He knows more about Long Bay politics than anyone alive. Why would he help me? Because Jackson pays him. In cigarettes, drugs, favors. I don't know the details. But Prophet is an investment in your education. Marcus lies down. The mattress is as thin as this morning. Will be just as thin tomorrow. And the day after. 4 years. Tank. Yeah. Do you regret it? What you did to end up here? Long silence. Every single day. But regret doesn't change anything. It just makes the time harder. Outside, someone is crying. The sound carries through the ventilation system, echoing off concrete and steel. Multiplied, amplified, the sound of broken men. Marcus closes his eyes and tries to remember what freedom felt like. Right on schedule. 10 p.m. A shadow appears at the cell bars. Marcus sits up. You're Marcus, Chen. The voice is deep, educated, surprising. I'm Prophet. Jackson sent me to teach you things you need to know to survive and thrive here. Lesson 1. Understand the economy. Prophet speaks for 30 minutes, and Marcus's understanding of Long Bay transforms completely. There are 6 currencies here. Official currency is commissary credits. You earn them through work. Family sends them. Whatever. Unofficial currencies are cigarettes, drugs, sexual favors, information, protection, and violence. Everything in Long Bay can be bought with one of these 6 things. Sexual favors. Marcus's stomach turns. Yes, don't be naive. Men are here for years, decades. Some are predators. Some are desperate for connection. Some are forced. The guards know. They don't care. Stay away from those transactions unless you want to become merchandise. Prophet continues. Lesson 2. The power structure. You think the warden runs this prison? He doesn't. 3 entities run Long Bay. The official administration, warden, guards, programs. The gangs, Brotherhood, Los Hermanos, disciples. And the network, Jackson's organization. The network is the smallest but most important because we control information and contraband flow. Why doesn't the administration shut it down? Prophet laughs quietly. Because we keep the peace. Without the network, the gangs would war constantly. Dozens dead. The administration can't stop it, so they tolerate us. Symbiotic relationship. That's insane. That's reality. Prophet's next words change everything. Lesson 3. You're not here to survive 8 years. You're here to build power, because power is the only thing that keeps you breathing. Jackson sees potential in you. Prophet continues. You're educated. White. Clean record before this. That means you can move between groups without immediate suspicion. You can talk to Brotherhood without them assuming your network. You can interact with administration without looking like a snitch. What does Jackson want from me? Eventually, to run the books. The network has dozens of operations, gambling, loans, contraband distribution. Someone needs to track who owes what, who paid, who's in default. That's complex accounting. That's you. Marcus's accountant brain, dormant since arrest, suddenly activates. How much money moves through the network? In commissary credits, about $45,000 monthly. In real-world value of drugs and contraband smuggled in, maybe $200,000 monthly. It's sophisticated. Spreadsheets, coding systems, digital records on contraband phones. You'd be perfect. And if I refuse? You don't refuse, Jackson. You already agreed. Now you're learning how deep the commitment goes. Prophet's tone hardens. But understand this. The network protects you from everything. Kruger, handled. Brotherhood, managed. Guards who might make your life hell, bribed. You're untouchable as long as you're useful. And when I'm not useful, then you become a problem that gets solved. Prophet starts to leave, then pauses. One more thing. Your celly, Tank. His network, too, has been for years. He runs security, prevents internal conflicts, handles discipline. He wasn't assigned to you randomly. He's your handler. Trust him, but don't ever forget what he is. Tank, still on the top bunk, says nothing, confirming everything. Marcus is alone in a cell with his handler, owned by a criminal organization, in a prison where the guards are irrelevant. This is his life now. The lights cut out. Emergency lighting casts everything in dim red. You okay? Tank asks from above. No, not even close. Prophet told you the truth. I'm network. I do handle security. And yes, I was assigned to you. But that doesn't mean I want you to fail. Why should I believe you? Because I could have let Kruger kill you this morning. I could have let Tiny escalate this afternoon. I could have told Jackson you're not worth the investment. But I didn't, because I actually think you might survive this. Marcus stays at the dark ceiling. Why do you care? Because 11 years ago, someone gave me a chance when I arrived. An old-timer named Marcus, actually. Different Marcus. He taught me the rules. Kept me alive those first crucial months. Then he had a heart attack and died in the yard. I promised myself if I ever got the chance, I'd pay it forward. That's why you're helping me. Some dead guy's legacy. Call it whatever you want. I call it the only good thing I've done in a decade. Silence fills the cell. Somewhere in D block, the 3 a.m. ritual will happen again in 4 hours. The screaming, the banging, the reminder that they are alive but not living. Tank. Yeah. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. You've got 7 years and 364 days left. Thank me if you walk out of here alive. Marcus closes his eyes. His first day in Long Bay is almost over. Tomorrow, day 2 begins. And the day after, and after, 2,920 more times. 3 a.m. Like clockwork. The silence. The banging starts. Metal on metal. Bang, bang, bang. But this time, Tank hands Marcus something. A metal cup. Your choice. Join it or remain separate. Marcus hesitates. Then he bangs his cup against the bars. Bang, bang, bang. Synchronized with 347 other inmates. A tribe. A collective. A reminder that they exist. The screaming follows. Marcus doesn't join that part. Not yet. Maybe never. But the banging? He understands it now. It's not rage. It's resistance. It's proof of consciousness. It's the only thing they control in a place designed to strip all control. Bang, bang, bang. 2 minutes. Then silence. Marcus hands the cup back to Tank. Welcome to Long Bay, Tank says quietly. For real this time. Marcus realizes something profound. He's already changing. Adapting. Becoming what this place requires him to become. Is that survival? Or is it surrender? He doesn't know anymore. Marcus hasn't slept. Not really. Micronaps. Moments of unconsciousness. But not sleep. In 13 minutes, the sirens will blare. Count will happen. Breakfast. Another day in laundry. More tests. More compromises. More survival. He thinks about his old life. The Mercedes. The apartment. The illusion of freedom that was really just a different kind of prison. Golden handcuffs. Social expectations. Corporate ladder. At least that prison had comfortable mattresses. First night in Long Bay. Most people cry. Tank says from above. You didn't. Should I have? Probably. Crying is processing. You're holding everything in. That's dangerous long term. I'll cry when I'm alone. You're never alone, hey. That's the truth. 6 by 8 feet. Shared with a stranger who's become a handler. Surrounded by hundreds of violent men. Watched by guards. Monitored by gangs. Owned by the network. Marcus Chen, 34-year-old accountant, has been in maximum security prison for exactly 24 hours. Is already a different person than who arrived. The question is, who will he become after 7 years, 11 months, and 2 weeks? And the terrifying answer is, he's not sure he wants to know. The sirens blare. Day 2 begins. Count. On your feet. Marcus stands. Tank stands. They face the bars as guards pass. Counting buddies. 847392. 847393. Present. Alive. Surviving. This is the reality of being transferred to Long Bay Correctional Complex. It's not the violence, though that's constant. It's not the heat, the food, the conditions, though those are brutal. It's the complete dismantling of who you were and the forced reconstruction into who you must become. Marcus's journey has just begun. In the coming weeks, he'll train Deshaun. He'll run books for Jackson's network. He'll navigate the politics between Brotherhood, Los Hermanos, and Disciples. He'll face Kruger again. He'll make choices that define whether he survives or breaks. If you want to know what happens next, you need to subscribe right now. This channel doesn't just tell you crime stories. We take you inside. We show you the reality, the psychology, the impossible choices. Hit that subscribe button. Smash the notification bell. Because part 2 drops next week, and you won't believe where Marcus's story goes. Did he survive? Did he become part of the network? Did Kruger get his revenge? Did Deshaun make it through his first days? The answers will shock you. Thanks for watching. Welcome to the reality of Long Bay. It's brutal. It's honest. It's real. And Marcus's story is just getting started.